Welcome to the real journey of the entrepreneur. The journey of any entrepreneur begins with a decision, then writing down your vision, then the execution of that vision. It is not for the faint of heart. It is for those who understand how powerful your mind is and that you can truly create the life that you deserve. It does require a unique formula that includes belief in yourself, a lot of consistency, connecting with an OG, a lot of tears, missing out on a few events and things, and taking a whole lot of risks that will allow you to see your vision and dream come to pass. This journey of the entrepreneur is from the perspective of a wonderful mother, a business owner, whose goal is to break generational barriers and normalize the process of wealth building and financial wellness through entrepreneurship, all while creating a social and give back along the way. I am sharing this journey with you and invite you to share this process with me. Let's do this together. Your decisions, but you have to feel comfortable to own it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? I will always support you.
Thank you.
Well, hello there, good people. We are back. We are back. We are back. We are back. I'm so excited to have you join another episode of The Real Journey of the Entrepreneur. My name is Anita Pierce, and I am the host and producer of these educational shows that help support and provide information to small business owners, just like you, just like me, just like all of us who are aspiring to transition over into the next level of our vision and on our journeys. So, we are excited to present today because, as you know, we're in the midst of this transition of, we went from having really, really low interest rates to now things are, tipping over the iceberg a little bit. And, for most of us who may be interested in the real estate market, we're kind of wondering, is it still safe to enter into the housing market as either a homeowner or simply as an investor? So, I don't know if you've been subscribing. If not, you should subscribe on YouTube at 11375.com and check us out. We are there on YouTube and on all of the social platforms. But I have a guest who, shared some wonderful information with us, who is back to provide us with updated information about, if we want to enter into the market, how do we do so? And guess who I brought with me? One of my good friends. Hey, Greg.
Hey, Anita, how are you?
It's good to see you, friend. Good to
It's
see you.
good to see you too. It's good to be back on your show. It's been about what, 2 years now?
Two years too long. 2 years too long. How are you and your family doing?
Man, family are blessed. Everybody's doing very well. So can't complain. How are you?
All right. I'm talking to you.
All right.
Wig is straight and we good today. So good old goody today. So we are back talking about this crazy, crazy market that's happening. And I know that you are, an expert within, the real estate business. So I wanted to bring you back to kind of like, give us a sense as to, some current trends. Should we be concerned? But I wanted to just refresh those who don't know. Tell us a little bit about what you do at your organization now.
Yeah, so my name is Greg Barthelemy. I'm a real estate agent here in New York City. I work with a brokerage, the Higgins Realty Group over in East New York, that is at Pennsylvania Avenue, or the corner of Pennsylvania Avenue. I'm sorry, the corner of Linden Boulevard and New Jersey Avenue. So I've been there for a few years, and I've been a real estate agent for since 2008. So I have more than 10 years in the game. Uh, help people with buying and selling their homes, but I really focus on commercial real estate and investing in real estate. I'm also an investor myself in real estate. I do real estate investing in real estate in the market of Baltimore, Maryland.
Ah, all right. So you know I'm going to come with some questions because inquiring minds want to know.
Yeah.
So let's start with the obvious, right? So most recently, the rate, the cost to borrow with the Fed Reserve has changed and now caused the interest rate within the market to go up.
Mhm.
Now, what does that mean for those who want to buy, invest and sell? Is this really still a good time to get into the market?
Yeah, it's always a good time to get into the market, especially if you're looking to buy a home and live in it instead of renting. So it's always a good time to buy a home. Um, Also, to build generational wealth, to pass something down to your family, your children, your children's children, and then also that you'll have in a couple of years uh, some cash value that you could probably get out of your house once you paid down your mortgage. But it's always a good time to get into the real estate, buy real estate. They say don't wait to buy real estate. They say buy real estate and wait.
Mm, all right, Greg. All right, so really just the cost of to borrow, like if you have to borrow, which is really, what a mortgage is. You are
Right.
utilizing the bank's money to purchase an asset at
Mhm.
this time, right? So the cost, right? So what would be the entry point that someone who is just really saying, you know what, I want to get into the market, what do they do? What would be some of the first things that they would do first?
All right. First, you want to get a good realtor because the realtor is the one that's really who's well connected, that knows the market, that knows the players in the game, and especially once you get in, you want your experience to go smoothly. You don't want any hiccups. So the best people in your team will help minimize the bumps in the road in buying your first home. So a good realtor, a good mortgage broker or a lender, or a good real estate attorney. So those are the three main key players in your team that you will build. Plus, they be working for you when you're looking for a home and you're gonna go buy a home. You're the boss. You're hiring these people to help you accomplish your goal. So you want to first get. I believe you get the first piece in your team is the realtor.
So what makes a good realtor? Like, so that's your, and that's the space that you currently live in. Like, how do we know that the person is working, will really be working specifically for me, the buyer or
Well,
the seller?
the what makes a good realtor? There's a lot of factors. Number one, they're well connected and they're knowledgeable about the market, especially in the area where you want to live. Also, they're very, very attentive to what you need. So they'll get to know you by asking you the questions that in order to get to know your needs and your desires as far as what kind of home you want to live in, where you want to live in. They'll do the research as far as the school district. If you have children, uh, they'll get information about the crime statistics in your area. So they have a plethora of knowledge, of information, where they can get you the information to educate you in the buying process the um, of your first property. So we're pretty much like an educator in a sense, while walking you through the process, holding your hand, and then uh, letting you know which mortgage broker or lender is the right one for you. And then they'll offer about two or three, maybe four mortgage broker that you can vet yourself and be like, hey, this is what you need to look for. Same thing with a real estate attorney. It's like, all right, here's three or four that you need to vet. This is what you need to look for. This is what you need to ask. And then you get the good feel as far as how you would go about choosing your mortgage broker or a real estate attorney. But the realtor is like the point guard in your team.
All right. So they better be assisting me really good, so that I can score on the right property, right? That's a great
So
analogy.
yeah, trust me, they want you to succeed because we work on a commission. If you don't succeed, we don't succeed. So we want to make sure that you get what you need, and then that we're servicing you, and then also making sure that you're accomplishing your goal.
So I want to touch on something when you mentioned your tips, right? You
Mhm,
talked about a mortgage broker,
mhm.
right? So what is the difference between a mortgage broker and going to a traditional bank or a
Okay,
lender?
so a mortgage broker is pretty much what they do is find the best product or loan product for you. So they'll based on your information, based on uh, your credit, your savings, your job, everything. They'll shop around for you so you can get the best interest rate. So, for example, like right now it's 5%, but based on all the information that you give them, what's your credit score and how much savings, they'll look out and see, okay, what's the best lender they can find that can give you the best rates, interest rates for your loan. Because that's very important. Because, for example, if you find a home that you love and it's $500,000, like last year, interest rates were around two, as low as two, 3.5. Your monthly payment will be low or manageable. But now the interest rate's at 5. It's going to get even higher because of inflation. The government has to level that off. Then your monthly payment is going to be higher. So if you have a good credit score, if you have enough saving, if your debt to income ratio is good, you have a good chance of getting the mortgage broker to get you the best product or the best interest rate for the lending or for the loan that you'll get for the house. So the lender is the big institutions like a Chase, Wells Fargo, Bank of America, um, Citibank. So you're going straight to them. They're going to give you that rate that they have, and also lenders, they have certain requirements that they want to lend out to. Like like a mortgage broker, they can find a bank that could be a little lenient in their requirements, so you can get that product or that loan to buy your first home.
All right. So let's talk a little bit differently about and still on along the same lines, but about your credit score.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Does that really matter in this process? Like, does it really, really matter? If you have cash, you can obviously, you know, go right on ahead. If they accept your offer, go right on ahead. But does your credit score really matter?
Your credit score does matter, uh, because that's what the bank look at to see your history. Um, what's happening? What happened in the last 15, 10 years of your credit? Any collections on your credit report? They look at that and they want to see if you're the type of person that would pay your bills on time and actually pay on your monthly payment. So the banks, they look at that because they looking at risk. When they lend money, is risky, so they want to minimize the risk, and so that's why they look at your credit score. Very, very important.
So can I buy a house with a 580 credit score?
You can, you can, because there's programs in this government. And this government have programs where for first time home buyers, they offer what's called a FHA. FHA, you can get into that program with as little as a down payment of 3.5%. Also, a 580 credit score is sufficient to get the lending.
So let's do the math.
Let's do-
Let's do the math. Let's do the math really quick. So you said, oh no, let's see. Hypothetically, homes ain't really 350,000.
Let's go 500,000. That's probably,
500.
yeah. That's about the median of home prices in Brooklyn. About
500. You just need to come up with under $20,000. 17.5 to be exact.
exactly. So
So no more Starbucks. No more eating out and brunching. Take up a side hustle.
this is $17,500. If
Mhm.
you're serious about buying your first home, you can save that in 2 years
Or less
or less.
if you really focused.
If you're really focused, but it usually takes about 2 years if you really like. Okay, I decided to buy a home, and my credit score is not where it needs to be. So it takes about the 2 years if you do it right with your credit score getting to where it needs to be. That's that you have that time to build up your down payment. Plus, you have the closing costs. But the most important is the down payment. So as opposed to 500,000, let's do that math. $500,000 house,
Mhm.
and then a conventional usually is 20%,
Mhm.
right? So you times that by 20, you have to come up with $100,000. So
For the same house. For the
for the
same house.
same house,
Same house.
for the same house, and most likely your credit score would have to be a lot higher than 580. So this is the government. This is the advantage of using the FHA. The FHA to put down 3.5%. That'd be like for a $500,000 house, $17,500 as opposed to $100,000 down payment and a 580 credit score. And of
And
course,
there's some things that we are going to elaborate on in another episode about budgeting to maintain the house, because we don't want to get you in a house and you then cannot maintain the house, because that's not our goal. Greg, what about investing?
yes.
The same market for
Mhm.
investors, because I know that we're talking really about those who want to enter in, just to actually live in a home. But what about investors? What does that look like for
All
those
right.
who would be interested?
There's this whole thing, which is great. Everybody, I think, is the best asset class. I believe that is great to invest in, as opposed to, I mean, stock market is great, it's good. I mean, crypto is a little crazy right now, But real estate, you can't go wrong in investing in real estate because that's something that would always hedge against inflation if you do it right. But the thing is, now you see people is like, all right, invest in real estate, get into this game, blah blah blah. But you have to know and understand that investing in real estate, acquiring an asset, is a business.
Hold on, sir. Sir, can you please say that again for the people that I'm in the back? Uh, what is it? What is investing in real estate?
It's a business. It's a business. It's a business. It's a business. It's an asset that you have to manage in the beginning.
Oh,
The first five or a few years, you have to understand you got to go in there thinking and have the mindset of running a business. Just like any business, you got to have a goal, you have to have a vision, and then you have to execute and you got to run it because you got to manage the property. You got to manage the property for your tenants. You got to deal with your tenants. It's a headache. It's like dealing with customers. And people look at the glam and uh the glitz about owning real estate and investing in real estate, but you gotta put in the work and you gotta do the work. Whether it's a single family home that you're investing in, all the way up to 200 units, 300 units. You still got to put in the work. You still got to make your tenants happy because you're in the business of supplying a home for somebody, and they're paying you. You got to make sure your customers, or in this case, your tenants, are happy, so they will stay there and keep paying you rent every month.
mm.
So it's not just you invest in real estate and then you just sit back and relax and not doing anything. It's a business.
Creating a brand within the market of business is important. So your brand is also important. But I like that you said it's a badge. Nah, it's not, buy the crib and then you go sit up on a beach somewhere. You got to manage it. Unless you hire someone to manage it for you. But
Yes.
that's still a part of the process.
It's a process because not all property managers are good property managers.
Mm.
And there's a lot of stories that I know and me experiencing it myself. You need a good property manager. And again, it's like running a business. You're the owner of the business, but you got to have the right CEO. You got to have the right COO, CFO. You got to have the right supervisors. It's a business that you're running, and you don't want the people stealing from you too, like bad property manager.
Yeah, facts. That always happens. So you have to set up, checks and balances within your business in order to continue to be successful. I
Right.
got a follow-up question about, more in depth about investing,
Mm,
right? So, there's a time, and there probably still is, about you know, flipping houses and starting that process. And
mm.
most people who are investors may not purchase and hold. They may purchase quickly and get rid of it. Any thoughts about that? And if so,
Uh,
what are the methods that folks use to get in that space?
all right. So I like that method because this is a vehicle where you can obtain capital quickly within that year. Uh, but again, it's a lot of work because usually when you're flipping a house, obviously it's something that where you're finding a property where it's in a distressed manner, and you want to add value to it. You fix it up, and then you sell it to someone who wants to live in it, right? But the financing, banks, lenders or conventional lenders, are not just going to give you money uh, 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 to buy a distressed home, because they look at it again as high risk, unless again you utilize what's called a rehab loan. But you would have to live in it. Now, if you're doing it for the sake of flipping it, then the capital that you would obtain to acquire the property is what's called lending a hard money,
Mm.
or get private lending. Private lending is from your friends and family, or close acquaintances. So,
Wow.
so obtaining the capital um, to acquire the property, to add value to it, and then flipping it to sell to a buyer is a different avenue, as opposed to buying a regular home to live in. Also, you have to understand the repair cost, right? So if you look at a house, and you can, just for example, not here in New York, but other places you can. But here in New York, let's just say you get a property for $200,000, but it's in terrible condition, and it would need another 200, maybe let's like $150,000 worth of work, right? To bring it to the market plot price of $500,000. That's our average, right? So now you brought the house for you need lending to acquire the property. So that's where you get the hard money. But then the hard money, or the private lender, they'll give you even more money to do the rehab of the property that you're going to be flipping. But you have to understand how much you need, and then the holding cost. While you fixing the property, there's a holding cost. The interest rates that you would have to pay to back to your hard money lender, or however the deal is structured, or contract is structured between your private lender. You have to make sure that's going smoothly. Whether you're paying them like a monthly loan, if it's a monthly payment, if they give me a loan, or they structure it as like, all right, you're just gonna pay me uh, interest, because you don't want that project to go too far along down the road. Then you start losing money, and then once it's time for you to sell the property, you're not gonna make profit. You actually lost money, and then you want to pay back your investors as well.
Yeah, you want to maintain those relationships because you
Absolutely.
want to continue to do that again.
Exactly. So this is, again, flipping houses is a business. This is something you have to understand, because you are, if you're looking for cash, you're in a role of a deal provider. So you have to understand what that is. You have to understand your role in this whole process, because you're going to be presenting this deal to a cash provider. Usually, the cash provider, again, those are your private lenders, friend, family, close acquaintances. But then you have to be able to explain, you know, this is the deal. This is what the deal requires. Also, this is how much money you're going to get back at the end of the deal. So, so flipping housing is a great business, but again, it's a business. You have to understand the business inside and out in order to be successful.
So I'm gonna show this again. Investing in real estate is a
It's
business.
a business. And people, again, like I said, they get the fast, and they watch the TV, they see the Instagram posts, the Facebook posts, the Twitter posts, whatever post they're looking at, and they see they're fascinated by that, and they see people, living large, and telling you, do you need to do this, that, and the third. But if you you really want to do this, you got to put in the time, and you have to invest your time and money to learn this business. It's like any other business. You just don't open up a supermarket and to start selling food. You got to understand how to run the supermarket, where you getting the inventory, how much you got to pay your cashiers, maintenance, stock boys. You know, your where you getting your products from to sell how much margin you gonna be making. So like you gotta understand, you gotta learn how to run the business or any business just to get into this business.
And the church said,
Mhm.
Amen.
Amen.
Amen. That's what they say. Amen. So, Greg, we're going to have to make this a part three. I'm
Mm,
just going to have you come back just whenever you want. Just come back. Just come back. But
okay.
before we wrap up, right? You offered some tips, which I'm going to, post up again, where you talk about make sure that you have a great team that includes a realtor, a mortgage broker, and a lender, and a lawyer as a part of your crew. When you are thinking about entering into this space, um, you know, Greg also mentioned about, your credit score and making sure those things are really tight when you are entering into this specific market.
Right.
I'm not going to let you go just yet. I usually close out the journey of the entrepreneur with some one word rapid fire questions.
Oh boy, I wasn't ready for
No,
this.
no one ever is, but we're going to make it ready. So, you
All right.
ready?
Yeah, let's go.
Let's go. What's your favorite borough?
Brooklyn. Brooklyn.
What do you do in your downtime?
Read. Read, read, and read.
What do you do in your spare time?
Read and play chess online.
Pizzas or burgers?
Pizza.
Smoothies or ice cream?
Smoothies.
Sneakers or shoes?
Uh, sneaker shoes.
In 3 years, what will change within the community that you are serving? And this is usually not a one word answer.
Oof. In 3 years,
Hmm.
or what I would hope change in 3 years in the community would be lower uh, a reduction in gun violence.
Wow.
Reduction in gun violence in 3 years.
Yeah.
That's my hope. I think it's going in that direction. If with everybody really fed up with what's happening right now, so I think that's going to happen.
Yeah. That's a goal. That's a deep goal.
Yeah,
But also, I would add that that's created, in my opinion, to connecting that to economics as well.
absolutely.
What is the legacy that you would like to leave for your family?
A legacy that I want to leave for my family is to live fully their God given potential, their God given purpose, which is to other serve other people with by loving them, showing compassion, showing empathy, being good and being kind to them. So that's the legacy, is really to represent Christ.
Final thoughts?
Final thoughts. I, I final thoughts is that everyone has a purpose, but a purpose to do good and to serve one another. I also believe that Real estate is the best vehicle to build generational wealth. Can't go wrong with that. But along with building generational wealth through real estate, it helps promote community and uh, value of community and uh, in service of community.
All
Yeah.
right, people, you heard it here first, maybe second if you watch the other show. So you can please reach out to Greg Barthelemy and his team.
Yes.
Definitely support Black-owned businesses.
Mhm.
Um, it hits a little bit differently when you supporting people who are similar to you.
Yes.
And ways to, if you're not ready to go into real estate, everyone is at a different place.
Mhm.
But just think about reaching out. Greg is on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter.
Mhm.
Email is right there. And so, you can like, share, subscribe to the channels that they have available, and just shout them out. Make a referral and say, hey, I saw you on the show. Here you go.
There you
The
go.
end. Thank you.
Thank you for having me, Anita.
Thank you. And
Yes.
looking forward to you coming back because real estate is not just a 30-minute conversation.
No.
It is one that, we need to have you back again. So
Yeah, I would love to be back.
don't be a stranger.
I won't. I won't. I'll be back. It won't take me 2 years either.
We understand.
All
We
right.
understand. But thank you for joining us. We look forward to seeing you again soon.
Yes.
I'm gonna pull you in virtual backstage. So bye-bye.
Bye, guys.
So again, we have an opportunity for you all to kind of like just check in. These are everyday entrepreneurs that are saying, "Hey, we jump in, we want to share information, right? This is how we learn." And the goal of all of us who are coming within this space is to close the learning gap. And so one of the things that we do at 11375, we are business consultants that help to support other businesses with getting certified in government contracting, helping to coach you. We also help, doing social impact and engagement within the community. And so we're looking to support you. We work with other small businesses, we work with government agencies, small businesses, and corporations as well. So please think about 11375. We're here to service you and serve you, and to also connect your goals and vision with social impact. And I want to thank Greg for coming on again. If you are interested in connecting with him, his information is here. Um, and that's how you have it. So please stay tuned for more information as we continue to bring on awareness of what other entrepreneurs are doing, what does that look like, and what the real journey of entrepreneurship looks like. I look forward to seeing you again. Please be sure to like, share, and follow. We are on all of the social platforms. Thank you for joining.